Yo, it's Tony MC, and I'm back with another episode of Tony Stories, episode 3. I'm so hyped for this episode this week because we got my boy, one of the best producers to come out of Miami, Rippa On The Beat. If you don't know about Rippa On The Beat, I'm about to put you on. He's been one of the best producers to come out of Miami in the past 10 years. He's been in the studio with Trick Daddy, City Girls, Rod Wave, Kodak Black, and so many more. Today, we're about to get into how he came up with the beat for King Combs and Kodak Black's Can't Stop, Won't Stop. In addition to that, we're about to find out how he got into the studio with all these different artists and where he got his notorious tag from. But without further ado, we about to get into our new conversation right now with the homie.
Rippa On The Beat, bitch.
Yo, man, I'm like thinking, I've known this guy for so long already, and it's about time that we made this happen. Give it up for my boy, Rippa De La Hoya, aka Rippa On The Beat.
What's
Rippa
good?
On The Beat, bitch.
What's
What
good?
it do, man? How you doing?
Ain't shit, man. You know we here, man. Like, just working, man. Working hard. You know, working hard.
Yes, sir. I know you hustling, man.
The week before, well, the weekend that just passed, yeah, I had just did a Rap Caviar podcast
Dope.
with Spotify and stuff like that. It was cool.
Okay. I know without giving too much away, you think what do you think the people can expect from that?
I don't know. I feel like far as how you know, they played it and whatever, like I feel like they get to see, like they get to hear me talk more than I usually talk. You feel me?
All right. Yeah. Well, I mean, anytime that they hear you talk is more than what you usually talk, for real.
yeah, man. You know, I'm like what they call it, I'm like Wizard Kelly. So you know, they hear me, you know, but they don't see me.
They don't see your face.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's up, man. It's finally good to see you getting in front of the camera, man. Straight up. So, how has 2023 really been for you?
I mean, since it started, like, you know, like I said, I just did like the Spotify podcast thing. So that's one. I got to meet with somebody in Atlanta, you know, a big public figure. I think they used to work for Island Def Jam and stuff like that. So that's a next upcoming situation or whatever. Like, but you know, for the most part, it seemed like it's going into like a decent like direction.
I feel you. Hey, man, that's the direction that you got to go, man. There's nowhere left to go but up from here, man, straight up. And especially with the way that your career has been going lately, I see you doing nothing but that. Now, obviously, we got to talk about the record. We got to talk about Can't Stop, Won't Stop, Kodak Black, King Combs, you on the production side. So with all the recent success that you've had with this record, man, like, you know, how has it been? Like, what has been the critical reception that you've received personally?
I don't know, you know, this is like my first single, you feel me? Like, this is the first time I'm like attached to a single. Yeah. Most times I'm part of like the album filler, like one of the favorites from the album, but I'm never really like, you know, the frontline guy. So for this being like my first single or whatever, like it's a vibe. I'm not gonna lie, like, you know, shout out to Kodak for arranging the play, you know? So
yes, sir. That's dope, man. So let's talk about how that record came together, man. Like, obviously, you know, we got the sample, the Crush on You sample and stuff like that, but how did you put it all together? At least beat-wise.
Like, you know, growing up, I used to like love listening to Crush on You. Like that one, between that and Best of Me Part 2 with Maya and Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that I always wanted to do. And that beat was I made that beat like 4 times. So yeah, I was just like, but every you know, as you elevate and whatever, like I wasn't content with the first 3 versions. The 4th version was the one that I wanted. So it was just like, now I learned, you know, I mastered my skills a little bit better, and I'm just like, all right, cool. Let me see how I could put this together. I'm just like, okay, what if we took this and gave it like a New Orleans bounce type feel?
Right.
Like I played it out and I was just like, okay, let me add like the drums on it. And I'm just like, okay, something is missing. If I'm gonna go like full New Orleans with it, you know, I gotta chop the vocal samples in there too. So, you know, I use like Big Frida and Magnolia Shorty all through it. So that way it kind of has its own little oomph to it as well. But you know, it still sounds like, you know, it sounds like me. It don't sound like, oh, I'm copying like, you know, another area thing. It still got that little Miami feel to it.
Hell yeah, it does, man. And I love that you were able to like integrate those sounds into it because it makes it one true cultural record. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I don't want
Now,
it. I didn't want it to be like, oh, I'm trying to jack this. I'm trying to pay homage through the beat. So,
right.
like I got my bounce to it, but I want to like, I grew up listening to like New Orleans music and the NO bounce and stuff. So I'm just like, all right, I want to show homage there as well, while I, pay homage to Lil Kim and Lil C's as well. So
That's dope, man. Now talk about how you presented the record to Kodak.
this is what it is. Like me and Kodak, we be, back and forth in there here and there. So he gave me like his little personal number or whatever. So it was one of them situations where I was just like flooding the phone with like beats.
Yeah.
I never knew the song was a thing at all, because you'll hear about it when it's time.
Right, right, exactly.
From okay, so I found out through two people. I found out through Fly Lifestyle,
Yeah.
and he was
Shout
like,
out
"Oh,
to
you got."
Josh, man. Straight up.
Yeah,
Shout out to
Josh a
him,
real
man.
one. Josh a real one. I found out through him. He's like, "Oh boy, it's this King Coleman Kodak record that you got." I was like, "I got." I never heard of it. Then like a month later, King Cone like DM me. And he's like, "Yo, what's up, man? Let's work. Let's work." So I'm just like, okay, I don't get it, but I'm just like, okay, this King Kong, this Diddy son. So let me see what he talking about. So he was like, send me some beats. So I sent him some beats, and I also sent the Crush on You because I'm like, that's like a bad boy play. So let me
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
how you feel about it, because I didn't know Kodak did anything to the beat, but I
Oh,
sent
okay.
it to him anyways, and he was like, that's crazy. I actually got a song to that. And I was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, man. You want me to send it to you? And I was like, yeah. So
Yo,
yeah,
that's
so
crazy.
I found out it's him and Kodak on the record, and I'm just like, oh, this sounds hard. This has potential, and it didn't have like a second verse yet. But I was trying to like articulate everything from that point because I was just like,
Mhm.
he's like, what you think I should do? I said, me personally, I feel like, like he went with some of my ideas. He didn't go with everything.
Right,
But I
right,
was like,
right.
maybe you should get like a Cardi B on like the second verse. And then like if there's room for a third verse, you and Kodak should spar again. You feel me?
Right.
And I guess, it happened how it needed to happen. He ended up just throwing a second verse on there. Then he was like, what do you see for a vision for a video? And I was like, why don't you just reinvent the Crush on You video?
Yeah.
And I don't know if we all had like the same idea or whatever, but I know
Yeah.
I told him that, and he was like, "That's lit. I want to do that." So
Yeah. That's
yeah,
dope,
but
man.
I found out like the record like was cut like I think May of 2021.
Okay.
So they been had that one in the pocket.
Wow. When did you make the beat? Like what year?
I want to say 2019 maybe.
Okay.
2018, 2019, one of them years.
That's
So
dope.
that just shows like a beat could be around for a long time, and it's been a lot of people who passed on it.
Oh, word. Who
Yeah,
passed on it?
I'm not gonna name no names.
Ah.
There's so many people who passed on it. I guess they didn't see the vision, and now that it's a thing, I'm starting to see people like do their own little freestyles to the beat and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, that's kind of cool.
The record's done so well, it hit the top of the charts and it's got love from Diddy. Like how did you feel when you saw that love from Diddy?
It's a dream. You know how you just like wake up in the morning and you just like I don't know. As a kid, I used to see this man on TV every day. Like all
Yeah.
the Bad Boy era from when he was on TV to him bringing out the band and all that other stuff. So it's just like you see one of like the legendary people just shout you out and they're going hard about the shout out. I'm just like, wow, that's crazy. I never expect that to be a situation for me.
Yeah, that's dope, man. And then also you had Lil Kim and gave her seal of approval on that too. I'm
Yeah,
sure
she
that had to make
stamped
you
it.
feel good.
It felt good. I had Lil Kim stamp it, Lil C stamp it,
Mm.
Big Frida stamped it, Black Mile
All
stamped
right.
it. It was a lot of people
All right.
behind
That's
behind
dope.
the green light. Yeah.
That's dope, man. Well, obviously you've made a couple of records for Kodak in the past, so I'm pretty sure he's trusted you with that.
Yeah.
Where were you when you found out it went to number one?
Honestly, I don't remember. Like I feel like you kind of just hear about things like, people start to like DM you and you start to see like why is my DM going crazy?
Yeah,
Like people like, people champion me and they respect me enough to like always keep me in the loop even when I don't see it. Like even if academics posted,
yeah,
hey look, academics just posted it. Hey look, this person just posted it. The shade room just posted it. And I was just
yeah,
like, you hear your tag. And I was just
yeah.
like, it's a good feeling. I'm not gonna lie. Like, but for the most part, I don't let it like distract me.
That's good. That's dope, man. Keep you focused. But like I was saying, you've worked with Kodak in the past, on a couple of records. What's the best part about working with him?
I feel like they allow me to just be me. You know how most people will come and sit down and they'll be like, I need a beat like this.
Yeah,
With me, uh, I want to say 99.7% of the times, these beats just be like ideas of me just having fun with producing,
mm,
So they go off of my feel, my style, my moment at the time, and they just run with whatever they like.
right.
There's been times where I'll post something on IG and he'll just be like, "Take that one down. I need that." Yeah,
That's dope. That's
yeah.
what's
So
up,
it's a
man.
good
Well, do you remember the first song you produced for him, or which beat was the first beat he took?
For me, I would say it was probably identity theft. Like, but the first one that he's ever hopped on, it was his brother's song. His brother John Wicks. They
Oh,
had a song called Haiti, and that was like circulating for a while because that was like my first Kodak placement for the people.
right.
And then when they finally dropped the video, they featured Wyclef on it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was like a big thing for like my parents and stuff.
That's dope.
Yeah,
That's dope. I'm sure they enjoyed that, man. Straight up.
yeah,
That's what's up, man. But obviously, he's not the first Florida rapper that you've ever produced for. You've got a whole line of artists that you've produced for: Rod Wave, Tafia, Soldier Living True,
yeah,
City Girls, Trick Daddy, Bushy B, Tierra Trinice. That record was huge. That Fool Me Once record.
yeah. Major
Um,
Nine,
Mike
Kendrick,
Smith.
Mike Smith.
Yeah, man. Like,
I
you know,
basically, I feel like the only person I haven't worked with in Miami. Uh, I think the only person I haven't worked with, and probably due to passing, is probably like XXX, Wavy Navy Pool. Like I ain't get to
mm,
work with those
right.
type. I haven't worked with Ferrari Fred yet. Like, but
Well,
it's
rest in
it's
peace
some
to
people
both of
that
those.
still need light that I still kind of want to work with. So if
Word.
it's possible, I want to. Like, far as Florida, I'm open to whoever. Like, I
Right.
kind of want to work with I guess like Lil Tyler. I want to work with more like Orlando, more Tampa based, more Jacksonville based. Like, wherever's
Nope.
popping in Florida, I'm supporting it. I'm behind it.
You definitely got the state on lock. So everybody, if you're watching this, go flood this dude's DM right now. Get any one of his beats, and I'm sure you'll be happy with that. Straight
Well,
up, man. Let's take it back a little bit though to when you first started producing.
I feel like I tell this story all the time. I actually told this story on Rap Caviar too.
All right.
But what it was I'm not gonna say I just started rapping. Like I was kind of like in my mode of rapping. I wasn't as great, like
Right.
now I can honestly say that, oh yeah, you could put me with whoever and
Mm-hmm.
it'll be a nice spar up. So but before I was just like, this was my beginning and I kind of wanted to do what everybody else was doing. So everybody was going to certain producers and stuff like that. And those producers were hot at the moment. So it's just like, okay, I kind of want beats from the same producer and whatever. So
Yeah.
I hollered at a certain producer because he had like the records out right now. He had the records out right now. So it's just like, he was charging people like a low ball price. And then when I came and I'm just like, I wanna, giving grace and everything, like, yo, I fucks with you, da 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 da. How can I, get a beat or whatever? And he tried to hit me up across the head, like, oh yeah, man, you want to beat 5,000, ten
Damn.
thousand. Like, yeah, he tried to come like super high when I know it's people that's paying them a couple hundreds, and I could have sat there and made those couple hundreds just to give it to you. So, like I kind of got bothered, and I was just like, I didn't want to keep using like SoundClick beats and YouTube beats or whatever. Like I wanted to learn how to do the situation myself, because I'm not into music for the money. I really love to do music. Like, I'm like a real student of the game. Like, I love everything about it, from the first time I've heard lyrics to the first time I heard like the production behind stuff, to to learn where they sampled them, to learn where the punchlines come from, to go watch the movies to understand the punchlines. Like, I'm really a student of the game, so I don't think it was gonna be as hard for me to learn how to do it. I'm not gonna lie, it was a little difficult, but once I found out that, oh, beats are just pattern and rhythm, and if you got it, you got it. So once I learned that, it just started going left to right, and I started producing for everybody.
What would you say was your first big placement? If you remember that far back.
It's either one out of two. It's either Moneybag Yo and Young Boy Collateral Damage, or Kevin Gates Shaking Back.
Okay. Damn, that's what's up. Well, I mean, those are pretty big placements for sure. How did you feel like at that moment? Like, was that more of like validation? Like, all right, I'm doing something right.
I feel like I was more proud because Kevin Gates is my favorite rapper. So it's just like, I was like, oh, I got to do something for my favorite rapper. So that hyped me up more than any other placement. On top of that, he's a humble person. His birthday a day after mine, and like, even after the placement got placed, I had ended up in Texas, and they got me free shows to the show in Texas.
Dope.
Yeah, so that, I appreciate Kevin Gates for life. Like, he even reached out to me through text and everything.
What would you say are your like musical influences? Like, it could be artists, it could be producers. But who would you say influences your beat making style?
I don't think it's like more like artists or producers that influence my style. I think it's like the Miami way of life. You feel me? So I feel like just being from here, knowing like, and then me being Caribbean, like me being Haitian and whatever, like those rhythms are already in you. So it's just like, if you decide to want to unlock it and let it be known as there, like being from Miami, like, like we kind of created that wave, that tone, that bounce. So, for us being from the South or whatever. So there's that. And then, as far as like being an artist, there's so many people that I could think of. Like, I remember when I got my first Trick Daddy CD, of my first Wyclef CD, of my first like BG CD, Lil Wayne, Hot Boys, Cash Money CD, No Limit, JT Money.
Mm.
Like, there was people that was locally doing it, like, like listening to Ball Greasy, listening to like, the people that was coming up at the era. So it's just like,
Of course, man.
I was taking it in. One of my like favorite underground people at the moment, because I had a CD of his and I thought he was so like amazing with the flow, was like C-Ride.
Oh, word. That's right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so I got to work with him too. That was
yeah.
a
Damn.
cool vibe. Like Blade from Dade, Iceberg, like,
Word.
I
Bizzle. R.I.P.
Bizzle, like, far as like locally, those were my influences. And then like globally, I like like Jay-Z. Like I said, like the Cash Money era, the No Limit era. I liked Fabulous and Jadakiss. I like the way that they put words together. Lil Wayne had a super high influence on me as well. And as far as like the newer people and stuff like that, I'm rocking with like Kendrick, J. Cole. I'm rocking with the Kodaks. I'm rocking with like I don't know. I'm with good music, even if it's not rap. I really fuck with it. Like I listen to like rock bands like The Fray and
Okay,
stuff like that. Yeah, so
that's dope. You gotta have some kind of like, difference in the music styles, just to switch it up. I feel you on
yeah,
that.
I really love music. So it's just like, oh, I'm not trying to be like, some people feel like they too gangster to listen to like R&B, rock,
Yeah,
these records, and I'm like, you never know what inspiration you could get from another genre, you know?
right. Nah, I feel you on that, man. That's dope. It's dope to hear like, the different sounds that like definitely influence you. Obviously we don't get to hear a lot of it. So it's good to hear that.
I ain't got no filter and nobody gonna check me about it. So
I feel you on that, man. Straight up.
yeah.
Who would you say up until this point, like who would you say has been your biggest celebrity cosign and what was that feeling like?
Biggest celebrity cosign. I don't know. Like I don't think have I been co-signed before? I don't think I've been co-signed before, but like Diddy really like, people.
That's a big flex, bro.
Yeah, but I don't know what's going on out here. Like, like they say that your name speaks volume in rooms that you've never been in. So I'm a respect that, and I'm a feel like they know, like
Word.
if I'm getting co-signed, it's probably behind my back.
I mean,
I hear
that's one
about
way to look at it.
it, like
Speaking of the tag, man, like how did you create that tag? Where'd it come from?
it came from my I'm not gonna lie, like when I first started making beats, I didn't have a tag. I just had a name. So it's just like one day I was recording like my own songs with my cousin and stuff. Like shout out to Jeffrey July. Like I was doing songs with him and he got in the booth, he put the headphones on and he was just like, he was doing introduction and stuff. And the first thing that came out of his mouth was like, "Rip on the beat, bitch." And I was just like, hey, I gotta keep that because everything about it, like the energy, the emphasis on the bitch, everything about that tag just was like iconic to me in my eyes already before anybody heard it. I felt like it was Florida. You feel me? It was Miami. It was what Uncle Luke fought for. Like, the parental advisory. It was just like, we're gonna break that mold. Like, some tags get bleeped out and muted, because
Yeah.
it's the radio, but I want you to, when you listen to the explicit version of the song or whatever, you hear that bitch hit so hard, and then it's just like, it
Straight up.
echoes. Yeah, because
You
guess
know what
what?
you're getting for real.
Yeah, and I'm glad I made that decision to keep that. You feel me? Because so many people was against it. Like that one producer was against it. He wanted to buy my second tag. It's like that first one, not it.
Oh
And I'm
shit.
just like, that just be people that genuinely just hate you for some reason. I don't know. So I looked at it, I'm like, yeah, I don't care what this man talking about. Like, I'm gonna focus on this and it's gonna rock. And man, like the first time my tag was introduced to the world, like that's all. Like, if you go on Twitter and you type it in or whatever, you can type it in any kind of way. It's gonna pop up like a million times from different like Twitter pages and stuff like that. So
I
that's why
feel
I'm
you.
like, can't nobody tell me that I'm not destined for this. Like, this got to be God.
That's
So
dope. That's a dope way to
yeah,
look at it, man. Straight up.
and to let me hear it, that came from this girl that I was cool with as well. Like I was doing like mic testing because we had just got auto tune.
Mm.
I wasn't like on that melodic shit yet, so it was just like I wanted her to try it out, and she was singing. Then she started laughing, and she wanted me to play it back, and that was the let me hear it.
All
And
right.
I just kept it, and I feel like I got inspired by who it was, Mike Will made it. You know how he had like two
Mm-hmm.
two tags. I was just like,
Yeah.
I want two tags too. You feel me? Like I was like, I need two tags just like Mike Will.
That's dope, man.
So it
Hey
just go
man,
hand
those
in hand.
those sounds are some of the most memorable tags in Miami right now. Maybe outside of Miami for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's crazy to hear you really like break that down because honestly, like I thought the let me hear it part, like I at one point I didn't even realize that was like part of the tag. I just thought it was part of the song. Like when I
Yeah.
first heard it in Fool Me Once, I thought that was Tierra saying that shit.
You go to like all every record that I've ever like produced or whatever, you'll always hear to Let Me Hear It. Like I feel like that's like an announcer, like in boxing, like an announcer bringing in the people. So when you hear Let Me Hear It, that's when the beat's gonna drop. That's when you're gonna finally hear the artist. So, you know, like I feel like that's important to the beat. Sometimes people beat me up and stuff like that. Like they be at my throat a little bit. They be like, "Hey, make sure you put the tags on the beat." And I be like, "Yeah, like it's not even about the record no more. It's about the branding." Like they be like, you sure it's gonna say Let Me Hear It and Rip on the beat, please. Make sure that's in the beat." Like
that's
and I'm
dope,
like,
man.
okay.
Now, as far as like producers go, who would you say is in your top 5 like best producers
Of all time? I don't know. It's so many great producers in this world, man. Like
you don't gotta rank them, just give me 5 that are your top 5.
That's the thing, is like I said, it's so many like amazing producers. Like you know, that's crazy. I don't know. I feel like, you know, I want to say like OVO 40, like Noah Shabib, like he's dope with the how he like crosses samples. Then you got like a guy like Timberland that put rhythm in beats that be crazy. And then you got people with work ethic like Manny Fresh, you know? And Manny Fresh be on some producing everybody's whole album from start to finish. So, you know, like that's just 3 off the top of my head. And I don't know if that's like in my top, but I just gotta give them their flowers while they're still alive, you know?
Nah, I feel you, man.
But it's a lot of people. I like the Justice League. I like well, Ben Billion. I got to meet
Shout out
Ben
to
Billion
Ben,
the other
man.
day.
Straight up. He just celebrated his birthday. I'm like, yo, he's living, man.
I love that man. Like that's like a brother to me. Cause like when I first met him, I got so much game from him. And you would think that, you know, like you meet people and some people be sedity, but Ben Billion is a real man at heart. Like you feel me, a good man at heart. I fucks with him.
So Hip Hop 50 is here. And I'm asking every artist, every producer, how has hip hop changed your life?
Man, hip hop changed my life like in a huge way. And not just hip hop, R&B as well. Like I feel like for me growing up to get to having these first pairs of CDs, I'm talking about in the era when music was like amazing, you know, like when everything was a hit. Not, oh, I have to make a club hit for it to be a club hit. Like when Ja Rule was popping, when 50 Cent was popping, when Fabulous had his run, when Jadakiss had his run, when DMX had like the radio on shutdown, like, you know, Eminem had songs that you could actually repeat back, and then songs that you can't repeat. So, you know, like I feel like hip hop had a huge impact on my life. And as I got older, I started going back to like older stuff, like before my age and stuff like that. And I started to appreciate it more, like NWA, Hip Hop Parade, like Gangstar, Right Where You Stand, you know, even like when people be telling me to choose, like, oh, who do you rock with, like Tupac or Biggie? And I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie, my older cousins had everything Biggie at first, you know, and then my neighbor, he had everything Tupac. So I learned from both of them, like, I don't have a side to choose. I felt like they both were great. Like, you know, Biggie was a lyrical assassin, and Tupac really knew how to make the better songs. So like, I just feel like hip hop is a part of my life, and I'm gonna always fight for hip hop, whether they say it's dead or not.
That's facts, man. That's what's up, man. What are you working on musically? Like, do you have anything else that you're working on, like maybe outside of music? Like, what does your 2023 look like?
I feel like 2023 for me, I made an oath that I'll be more outside and more active. You feel me? Like I want to be like more in press space. So like I said, I hit you up and I'm just like, how can I get like in these situations, you like, man, you just gotta go do press. Like you gotta go talk. You gotta not be the hitting man no more. So I took that advice seriously. So you see me, I went to LA for the first time, did that, and I'm just like, if y'all need me ever again, let me know. And you know, they love my energy out in LA, and I'm about to go to Atlanta and do that thing. Wherever life pulls me, as far as the interviews and having the show face, that's where I'm gonna be at. I'm working on my own projects and stuff like that. I still have this one project made in day that I have to get mixed perfectly.
I remember you sent me a couple of those records.
Yeah, I love this project because even, you know, after a while I still go back and listen to it and it's just like brand new to my ears. I'm not tired of it. Every project before then, like as I'm working on it, it's just like, okay, I'm tired of hearing this. I don't want to hear it no more. And then I put it out and I have to hear it again. So, you know, like I got that going on. I got more other projects to do. I'm trying to work with everybody in the world, like far as like locally, globally. I'm just like more like active and more like working with people. Like I'm working closer with this engineer named Max. I'm working closer with my homie Heavy Game. He just went and did like a Super Cindy thing today too, you know. So he's like next up and coming. I know like last year towards the end, like December-ish, I was like working with French Montana closely. So maybe some of that work might come out this year, and you know, whatever happens, happens. I'm looking for like a new attorney too, so I got to sit down with some heavy hitters. So
that's what's up, man. Well, obviously, the best of luck to you for that. Let the people know where to follow you, man. We got to get them all over your page. We got to get them showing love at every post, man.
Listen, every social media is the same. Rippa De La Hoya, RIPPADELAHOYA. Everywhere. You can find me everywhere. It's the same everywhere.
That's dope. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate all your time, man. We're going to make sure that your face is going to be everywhere by the end of the year, yo. Straight up.
Yeah, I'm with it, man. Like I said,
remember that.
Advice, I'm with it, you know? Like,
that's what's up, man. Straight up. Nah, I appreciate your time, man. Straight up. I'm gonna let you know once this is made, when it's ready to go. We'll plan out a couple of posts and stuff like that. I'll shoot you the YouTube link and everything, man.
I'm with it. Like,
all right.
Just let me know what to do and I'm gonna do it.
I got you, man. Nah, man, straight up. Appreciate this. And I'll let you know if I need anything else, all right?
All right, pressure.
All right, so peace. Oh, wait, one more thing before you go.
All right, what's up?
You gonna go to you gonna do the Iceberg and Ball Greasy versus?
I want to see it happen, but I
want to see it happen.
I'm not gonna be biased and pick a side, you know. Like,
nah, man, I had to come out like Switzerland, yo. I'm like, yo, I like both of them, man. Both of them are gonna get their love and their flowers, and that's it.
I'm gonna play little Italy, man. I'm gonna play little Italy. Like, I'm gonna be the on. Like, you know, Ball Greasy, my man's, and
I know, man. Me too.
Berg, my man's too. I just know, you know, like when it came to growing up, I know, like I hope Greasy don't feel like Iceberg don't got them haymakers, man. You know, like
nah, Berg's definitely got the hits, bro. The album that he just dropped with I forgot his name right now, but
DJ Killer
record,
K.
Yeah, him. So I heard the record, man. It's dope. I fuck with it. Nah, that's just hard.
Like if we talking like Iceberg from the beginning of the.
Man, you know, I think he needs to just like I think he needs to bust out all the new ones first to be like, all right, get those out of the way, and then by the end, boom, 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 hit him with all that shit. that's the thing he should go with. That's just my personal.
He could really play it like Jeezy. He could really play it like Jeezy. Jeezy could have Jeezy stayed on one album before he could even like touch anything else. Like that's how much work Jeezy had that he didn't really have to leave to the next discography yet, you know, like that's how I feel about Berg. Like them first 3 like mixtapes and stuff like that before we even get into albums and projects, like it's just like
I feel you, man. Nah,
But
man, he had a bunch of
Breezy
hits.
got work too, man. So I don't want Bird to feel
Breezy
like
got a whole different level of work, straight up, man.
he just gotta, I feel like the energy gotta match. That's all.
That's true. They both got to match it with that energy for real. But yeah, man, I just want to get your opinion. I hope if you're gonna go to the show, I'll see you there, man. I'm trying to head out there too.
I don't really do shows, but I know
Man, you better get out there, bro.
it might be streaming. It might be streaming. I don't know.
If they stream, all right.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. If they stream, all right, cool. But if they don't, I gotta see you there, man.
I try my best, but like far as like coming outside and doing stuff like that.
And that's it, fam. I hope you learned a little bit more about my boy, Rippa on the Beat. Make sure to follow him on social media at Rippa De La Hoya. And of course, follow us at _Tony Stories and me at _Tony MC. Peace.